So, welcome to the session. We are going to start a new book today, the book Experiencing Being. Before that, I thought we can just sort of go over the background, quickly. Let's go over the background. So, you are aware there are many of these Golden Lotus Sutra books. So, what are these books? So they're not related to any particular specific course of Master Chopak Sui. They have actually not, Master didn't sit down and write them also. Master used to conduct sessions. In these sessions, he used to talk about a variety of topics. So those things that he was saying, they were recorded, then they were transcribed, and then they were categorized into different categories. And so these seven major categories have been created. So there are these seven Golden Lotus Sutras. Now each book, as you have seen, has many chapters. Each chapter is a separate subcategory, and then each chapter has many subsections or sections. So those are subcategories. So these are verbatim Master Choa's words. I mean, he spoke these words, so they are there. They provide what is the value of these books. This is additional and supplementary knowledge apart from his courses and the books associated with the courses. So the promise is that if we study them, we understand them, and we apply them, implement them in our lives, they will change our lives. And one way to check the power of these teachings is that at the beginning of the session, you can scan your crown chakra, you can scan your spiritual cord, you can scan your aura, you can scan your aura for spiritual energy. And then do the same thing at the end of the session. That will hopefully give you confirmation that these books are packed with the mental energies, emotional energy, and spiritual energy. And just by reading them, we absorb some of the energy. So one question comes, why are they called the Golden Lotus Sutras? I mean, why not, for example, Silver Lotus Sutras? And why Lotus? Why not Rose? And why Sutra? So let's start with the word Sutra. The word Sutra is actually a word that originates from Sanskrit. It has a few meanings. One meaning is thread. So when you put things together, when you thread things together, when you connect things together, it is called a sutra. Another meaning of the word sutra is that it is like the root knowledge or the root formula or like the core knowledge of some subject. So if you put these two meanings together, what we get is an interconnected set of root knowledge. Root, by what do we mean by root? When we say root here in this context, it means that the wisdom is very densely packed, very densely packed. And it takes an effort to unpack that. And that is what in these sessions, all of us are trying to do. We are trying to unpack that knowledge. So and it takes a certain amount of effort as we are all engaged in these sessions. And I hope you are enjoying and gaining from these sessions. So, for example, if you've heard of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 198 sutras, less than 2000 words, covering or teaching or, like an encyclopedia of yoga. But it requires effort to decipher, to unpack, to understand the depth of the meaning. Each sutra can be talked about for hundreds of pages. Or for example, some text, spiritual text, which is not sutra. So, for example, the Gita. Gita is not the Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure you heard of it. That has shloka. That doesn't have sutra. They are not so densely packed. Or the epics related to Lord Ram, Ramcharitmanas or Valmiki Ramayana and so on. They are shlok in shlok form. They are not as densely packed. So that's why the word sutra. Then the question comes, why golden? Why not silver? Or why any color at all? I think you may be aware that the color gold is closely associated with spirituality, with spiritual development. In the Advanced Pranic Healing book, Master Choa has given an illustration. He has called it the golden body of a yogi. So, and he's explained in that book that as you spiritually evolve, your body becomes more and is filled with more and more golden energy. And in when you learned advanced pranic healing, two divine colors were explained: electric violet and gold. So, and then Master explained that electric violet also changes to gold when it comes in contact with the etheric body. And also, if you remember, these are divine colors or spiritual colors. They come from the higher soul through the spiritual cord. The rest of the colors you get from air prana, ground prana, and so on. But these two colors, and especially gold, you get only from the spiritual cord. And then the question, why lotus? Why not rose? Or why, why any flower at all? So I think that answer is the simplest, because the lotus flower is often used to symbolize the crown chakra, especially the crown chakra of a spiritually developed person. So that's why the name Golden Lotus Sutra. So what this is trying to tell us is that, these books are somehow related to spirituality or spiritual progress. And we've already completed two books, the Compassionate Objectivity and the Creative Transformation books. I just wanted to I thought I'll ask you today, have you really, I don't know how much of that you have attended, but have you seen some benefit from the study of these books? Have you changed in some way? Has your attitude, your responses to life situation, your life, has that changed or improved even slightly? Has there been any sort of difference that the study of these books has made to your life? Because, that is the whole point of this exercise. I mean, it's not just a, time pass activity, or, we are not just trying to pass time or, talk about some intellectual stimulation. Well, if you can't think of it right now, it's all right. But I wish you would be having that awareness with you that the purpose of our study is to change our attitudes, to change our approach to life situations. Yeah. So, for example, so the overall the purpose of these books, you know, let's talk about the background. Why did Master create these books? You see, it's very clear. One thing that Master Choa has explained beautifully is that the purpose of life is to evolve spiritually, or let us say spiritual development. है ना, जीवन का उद्देश्य है आध्यात्मिक उद्धार या आध्यात्मिक विकास, आत्मिक विकास. What in Indian system we call Brahma knowledge, Brahma Gyan, ya Atma Gyan. That is the purpose, to know God, to know that you are the soul. But Master has also made it very clear that the way we are going to pursue this purpose is not by becoming a sannyasi, not by renouncing the world. हम सन्यासी बन के नहीं, लेकिन जीवन जीते जीते हम अपनी आध्यात्मिक विकास के पे अग्रसर होंगे. We will progress spiritually through life, while living life. Right? So, and in that respect, we are lucky to have Master Choa, who is a very practical guru. He has not only, I mean, he's first taught us healing, and then he is given this whole spirituality, but not just in a theoretical sense. He has made it practical. He has, people often call Master Choa a technical guru. Why? Because he gives techniques for everything. For everything, there is a technique. So he's not only giving us preachings or, information or knowledge, but he's telling us how to apply, how to benefit from, how to integrate into our life. So for everything, technique, method, system, process. So overall, his mission is how do we integrate spirituality into life? Yeah. And for that, he has given us more than 20 courses and about 20 odd books, more than 20 books. Out of them, and the purpose of those courses and books is to teach. Where he has communicated to us his knowledge and the techniques. But these seven Golden Lotus Sutras, which we talked about, why seven? Because they are on different aspects of different categories of knowledge. They are not limited. Each of these books is not limited to any course or specific to any course. These actually provide additional or supplemental guidance, supplemental knowledge. The first one we went through, compassionate objectivity. You remember this? Compassionate objectivity, which was on character development. That is the byline, the Golden Lotus Sutra on character building. So there he taught us how to live life as per the virtues, how to live a virtuous life. चरित्र बढ़ाना और चरित्र के साथ जीवन जीना, है ना? Second book that we read was Creative Transformation, where the byline is the Golden Lotus Sutra, the Golden Lotus Sutra on spiritual practice. And there he taught us talked about spiritual practices, about an attitude of spirituality, how to live a spiritual life. I just thought that, we shouldn't just finish the book and be done with it. We should, my suggestion to you is that even these two books that we have completed, 10 minutes a day, just open any page at random and try to read and contemplate on the sutra that you read. Maybe only one sutra or two sutras, but just think about that. So I just picked up, kind of the summary for the last two books because, I think it is important to retain that knowledge, that value, why those books are important. And let me just share the screen. I hope you can join me in appreciating those books. So, for example, in compassionate objectivity, Master in the beginning, he says that problems arise, lack of character. Why character development is important? Because that is what causes problems in life. It is not just a theoretical thing that, oh, you should have good character. No, it is because your life will improve. And some people, they have a lot of problems. Why? Because they have big character flaws. And then, the beauty of Master Choa, these weaknesses, they are also in energy form. So they can be disintegrated. Once we extract them, disintegrate them, remove them from our aura, our life will become easier because, like he said in the previous slide, it is those weaknesses that are causing problems in life. And, it's to re-emphasize what Master says, it is as simple as that. These are weaknesses, energy, remove the energy, you are rid of them. Then in the second book, Creative Transformation, he started by saying that spirituality is a way of life. A lot of times we tend to divorce the two things or separate the two things. Okay, spirituality is what I do in the morning, 7:30 to 9:30. And life is what I live for the rest of the day. But what Pastor told us right in the beginning, I think that is the first line in this book, or the first teaching in this book. It is a way of life, not just limited to your spiritual practices. We are, of course, trying to evolve spiritually, but we need to be practical. We must be rooted. That's why after every meditation of Master Choa, we must necessarily do rooting so as to maintain our practicality. Again, in another sutra, he reminded us, idealism, practicality, they go hand in hand. Spirituality, practicality, they go hand in hand. Like, the two wings of a bird. They have to be balanced. Right? So this Golden Lotus Sutra, this book that we are about to start, This is about life. This is about practical guidance for life. You know, what we have learned in the previous two books is we need to be virtuous, and then we saw that there is a way of living life spiritually. But then a lot of times we have this doubt: is this really practical? How do I integrate spirituality into my life? So this is the book for that. In a sense, one can say that this is the most important of the Golden Lotus Sutras. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Is this, would you say that this is, because it is related to life? And if you see the contents, the table of contents,
What is the name of the book?
experiencing being, experiencing being. By the way, do you have this book or not? Because some feedback I've got is that not everybody has this book. So, may I suggest, please, as soon as possible, get a copy of this book. You can get it from your local foundation. You can get it from your center. You can buy it online, both ebook form or physical form. Worst case, you can't get a copy, please contact us and we will try to help you out. Okay, but you must have the book. You cannot do book study without having the book. Am I right or am I right? So if you see the table of contents, it says life. Chapter 1 is life, then self, then soul, challenges, difficulties in life, people, relationships, children. So sometimes, our problem with in life is because, not problem in life, but we are unable to move forward because we don't know how to integrate children into our spiritual progress. Forgiveness, love, sacred sex. Master has even talked about sex, death, and the world. So this is, this is like a practical manual for life. Now, obviously, this is not related to, you have come up, you may have heard of books like, how to become a millionaire and how to make friends and influence people. And this is not like that. This is not a manipulative book. This is teaching us through the laws of nature, through the laws of the spiritual world, how to make our life better. And therefore, at least I think that this is a very, very important book. If you don't have the book, please arrange it. I think next session we will be missing. I have a family event to go through. So, and our next session will be on Monday. Please arrange the book until then. You will get it from your local center or foundation. If you can't get the book, you can buy it on Amazon, or else you please contact us and we will see if how we can help you. I'm sorry I've talked too much on the background. The time is already over.